The first 2 days of preseason, known as the official Formula One shakedown, have ended. For some teams, this marked their first experience after completing private tests. This could be considered the official start of Formula One activities in 2026, with new regulations and tests underway in Barcelona. 3 days remain for the drivers to allocate their working time, as they are only authorized to run for 3 days. Though these tests are private, with no journalists, television, or photographers at the circuit. Some information has been obtained, which is what we will use in the summary of the first 2 days of this preseason. Understanding that most of what we tell you here will be reports that the Formula One teams themselves have given to the media, along with data the press got from various test days and private sources. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the summary of days 1 and 2 of the 2026 Formula One preseason. Red Bull is the only team to use both Monday and Tuesday for laps at the Barcelona-Catalunya circuit. And since Monday, it's been a day marked by surprises that look very positive for the team, as they've shown reliability by managing to rack up a lot of laps over these days, which seems extremely positive, considering their position as new engine suppliers. The one in charge of driving the car on Monday was Isaac Hayar, who was able to enjoy a seemingly trouble-free day and managed to complete 107 laps just on Monday. On a day when Hayar said he felt comfortable with the car and his impressions were better than expected, both with the single-seater and the power unit. He ended Monday with the fastest time, 1:18.159, but as usual with lap times, it means little, especially in this secretive preseason. Red Bull, along with Ferrari, were the only ones to run in the Tuesday session and in the morning session. Max Verstappen was driving the car, and some journalists observed that during his initial run, he was using sensors on the car. His first run went well, despite a brief off-track incident that caused a red flag but had no consequences. And he kept running until the rain finally appeared on the circuit, limiting his driving stint to 27 laps because of the rain that ended up falling on the track. His best time was 1:20.0, but Red Bull decided to put Hayar in for the afternoon session and leave the last day at Red Bull completely to Max Verstappen. He managed to complete a total of 50 laps until he had an accident at turn 14, which unfortunately ended his day there. Despite the incident, Hayar was not injured in a day that felt unproductive for Red Bull due to all the rain that ended up falling on Tuesday. Still, the energy drink team has completed 184 laps so far. The feedback has been positive for the team debuting as a constructor in 2026. Mercedes participated only in the Monday session and, because of the weather, decided to wait until Tuesday. They have finished a very positive first day with a lot of laps completed and no apparent reliability issues reported in their cars. On Monday morning, Kimi Antonelli drove the car for 56 laps with a best time of 1:20.700. In the afternoon, Rosell took over driving. Like his young Italian teammate, he had a productive session, completing 93 laps with plenty of afternoon activity and finishing with the day's second best time of 1:18.696. Mercedes also had the second most laps on Monday, and it makes clear that, at least for now, reliability looks positive. We'll see from the third day on how the feeling with Mercedes evolves. But at least for now, the Germans seem to be confirming the confidence placed in these technical regulations. Ferrari debuted their car in today's Tuesday session, skipping Monday's session. And Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc shared the track in the morning and afternoon sessions, with the Monegasque being the first to get behind the wheel of the car. Leclerc's plan was disrupted by rain on the circuit. Nevertheless, he completed a productive 64-lap session before handing the car to Lewis Hamilton in the afternoon. The British driver was present all afternoon, but rain prevented him from getting any dry laps to test the car. Still, he completed 50 laps before Isaac Hatcher's red flag interrupted him. Leclerc confirmed in his interview that they focused on ensuring everything worked properly. And overall, the Ferrari team enjoyed a solid mileage of 114 laps without any kind of problem. And that later on, in the coming days, they will move from simply doing laps to understand the car to testing its performance. Another Ferrari-powered team has also done many laps, demonstrating the Italian team's power unit reliability. That's a very positive way to start 2026. We'll see how the rest of the days develop, but at least for now, things look good for the Prancing Horse team. Alpine faces high expectations after switching from constructor to Mercedes customer team, and so far, things look good for the French team. They only ran a limited distance on Monday, with Franco Colapinto driving the single-seater. Their mileage was lower than other teams, but they completed 60 laps. After getting in the car, his first impression was satisfaction with the single-seater's behavior. However, they didn't avoid scares since they had one when Colapinto caused a red flag. Otto was stopped on track due to an apparent reliability issue caused by the cooling system of the single-seater, but Colapinto himself managed to return to the pits. The team was able to work on it and get back on track. Later, he finished Monday with the third best time of 1 minute 20.700. We'll see if they return tomorrow or wait until Thursday to complete their 2 remaining days. But for now, things seem to be going well with the Alpine team and optimism is still in the air. Haas is one of the teams that has been most surprising, at least from what we know so far. They only ran on Monday, and the car was driven by Esteban Ocon, who just kept going lap after lap, completing 154 laps. This highlights Ferrari's reliable power units and the current strength of the American team. The best time supposedly set by Ocon was 1:20.301, but really, as always, that doesn't matter much. What does matter are the kilometers, because more kilometers mean more data and more information, and that's exactly what Haas has achieved. However, Ayoko Matsu himself has commented that on every lap they've had some issue to resolve, but that hasn't stopped them from running laps, which is extremely positive. Things are looking good for the Haas team for now. We'll see if they can confirm it in the coming days. Red Bull's B team had Liam Lawson running laps on Monday, and like other teams, the day was marked by high mileage and few surprises. There was a brief scare when Lawson stopped on track with a reliability issue, but he later continued and completed 88 laps. When Lawson was interviewed, he said he was happy and believes drivers now have more tools with the car to make a difference. Some journalists also noted the V-Carve's unique concept of 2 front wings. It's at least an interesting concept, and we'll have to see how it evolves during these tests. For now, Racing Bulls is waiting to run the 2 days they still need. We'll see if they resume tomorrow or if everything shifts to Thursday and Friday. For now, that's how Racing Bulls Day ended. We'll see if they maintain this calm for the rest of preseason. Cadillac has had a tough start, just as expected, and they've only been out on Monday. Their mileage has been very limited due to problems that have come up with the car. As expected, Bottas worked the morning shift and completed just 33 laps before car issues forced him to stop. Perez went out in the afternoon but only completed 11 mostly installation laps, since the team only wanted to check the car after the problems they had reported in the first part of this preseason. However, this has not dampened the optimism at Cadillac. They knew there were issues, and even Checo Perez sees it as good that they appear so solutions can be found. Even Bottas stayed optimistic, saying the first day was for fine-tuning and hoping the rest would go more smoothly for the new American team. Cadillac completes 44 laps on day 1. We'll see if they return to the track on Wednesday or wait until Thursday or Friday to resume this first 2026 preseason. Audi's preseason has gotten off to a rough start, with little testing and car issues to address. Bortoleto drove the single-seater Monday, but after causing a red flag and completing only 27 laps, he was stranded on the track and couldn't return. Audi has identified the problem and plans to fix it in the next few days. And therefore, they haven't been seen today, Tuesday, to take action either, so in the end, they finish a problematic day. They note that everything went well with the car on track until the problem appeared. We'll see if they solve the issue and improve for the remaining days. Still, their start has clearly been complicated. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, we finish the summary of the first 2 days of the 2026 Formula 1 preseason. You may have noticed we haven't mentioned McLaren, Aston Martin or Williams because they haven't participated, and Williams won't take part in this preseason at all. We'll have to wait for Bahrain to see them and for McLaren and Aston Martin to get their cars on track. Let's see if they do it soon. We'll be here to report the summary, most likely tomorrow, Wednesday, to have a much broader overall assessment. So our summary of these days ends here. Please share your thoughts in the comments on the preseason so far and your expectations for the rest. I am Skyline Racing. See you in the upcoming summaries that will come out of this 2026 Formula 1 preseason.